I'm Andy Olson, this with Echozoe Ministries. Thanks for joining me for another installment of Lessons in Logic. And for this one, we're talking about the loaded question. Now, a loaded question is one that presumes a conclusion, and it puts a person that's being asked the question in a tricky situation where no matter what they say or how they answer, they appear to forfeit ground in the debate. So this is one, if you watch Fox News, CNBC, or MSNBC, CNN, or if you're overseas and you watch similar stations, and you get these hard-hitting, quote-unquote, television talking heads. A few years ago when I first put this together, Bill O'Reilly was a big one on Fox News, and then Piers Morgan was big on, if I remember correctly, CNN. Both of them are off those stations now, but they were known for this tactic in their discussion, in their debate, and they used it because it comes across to the viewer as the talking head is so smart and they're just really good at debate, but actually it's a very poor tactic, and it doesn't actually prove anything. So an example of a loaded question would be, have you stopped beating your wife? And we've all heard this one. How does the person get out of this one? No, I haven't stopped beating my wife. So you still beat your wife? Or yes, I have stopped beating a wife. Oh, so you admit that you used to beat your wife. No matter how you answer the question, they're going to back you in a corner of admitting that you are a wife beater. Well, maybe no, I haven't stopped because I never started. That's not a valid presupposition, apparently, when they're asking the question. But going back to Piers Morgan, an actual question that he asked a number of years ago, March 26, 2013, actually. He was talking to Ryan Anderson of the Heritage Foundation, and the topic of discussion was same-sex marriage. And Piers asked, where does the U.S. Constitution say that same-sex couples can't get married? This is a loaded question because he is using this presupposition that he's trying to get to same-sex marriage and backing into the Constitution. So the way that we would respond to this fallacy, if you ever find yourself in it, is to address that underlying faulty presupposition that motivates the question. Never grant that presupposition. So in the case of Piers Morgan and where does the U.S. Constitution say? Well, the U.S. Constitution doesn't actually address marriage, whether it's same-sex, opposite sex, monogamy, polygamy. It doesn't address marriage at all. Okay, marriage is addressed in natural law, in common law, which our constitutional system is based on. The legal basis for it, they just assumed one man, one woman marriage when they wrote the Constitution. And so appealing to the Constitution, saying that there's nothing in the Constitution that forbids same-sex marriage, is faulty, and it's using a loaded question. So the key to this one, as I said, is how to respond to it. You just got to understand the presuppositions that are behind the question, and don't grant those presuppositions because they're faulty themselves. So this is the loaded question, and thanks for joining me for this edition of Lessons in Logic. I'll be back again soon with another for you. Thank you for watching.